We're quite pleased with that incentive. Let's be clear. This is an incentive for the larger startups that come to Gibraltar, and we are very keen to get out the message that Gibraltar is very much open for business, and that we are as friendly as jurisdiction for business as we always were. So the startup initiative is actually a very positive initiative, we think, for Gibraltar. Again, we are very pleased that this has been put on hold, albeit temporarily. And again, the reason for that is that the message that Gibraltar has to send out is that we are as competitive as every other jurisdiction. If you look at the jurisdictions that we compete with, most of them or some of them don't have compulsory pensions in the private sector. And at this moment in time, this is something that we have to be very conscious of. So when we're looking at the question of pensions, it's all a cost to the bottom line of a business. And obviously, as a federation of small businesses, we are particularly concerned with the costs for the smaller businesses. So we're very pleased that this has been put on hold, albeit temporarily. And I think it's a case of seeing where we are in 6 months' time, and how the chips have fallen for Gibraltar.
So very much a Brexit budget, as it's been called.
It's a prudent budget, and it's a business friendly, but it's a business neutral budget because it would have been an opportunity for some increases. It hasn't been, and we're very glad the government has heard our lobbying.
Well, I mean, if rents have not gone up in 32 years, then without having to consult my committee people, I can safely say that the increase is fair, a modest one, and reasonable.
It accounts for about an average of 60p.
It is a reasonable, I mean, I don't know how much the salaries have gone up in the last 32 years, but obviously 32 or 33 pence a week is not a big deal. I mean, the increase, I think, is a very reasonable one. I would have to consult my committee to work out whether an annual increase would be fair and reasonable. One thing is certain, and that is that rents in the public sector must increase. But how much, and whether it be an annual increase or every 2 years or 3 years, that we would need to look into in more detail.
The Gibraltar Women's Association are extremely pleased in the budget announcement today that they're abolishing the import duty for sanitary items for women. It was following a campaign in the UK for equality for women that tampons, sanitary items were taxed as a luxury product. And here the import duty was at 12%, and it's an essential feminine product for women. And we feel that it shouldn't be taxed. It should be taxed as an essential item rather than a luxury item. We started a campaign in March this year, and we're really pleased that the government have listened to the women of Gibraltar and taken off the tax on this essential product.
I think it's great to hear that the government's decided to implement a 10% sugar tax on sugary drinks. I think at least it's the first of many, hopefully, new initiatives that they'll be trying to help within the community. I mean, obviously, sugar is a big problem throughout Western society, and of course, other countries, America and the UK, have already been implementing these types of sugar tax. So at least for us here in Gibraltar, I think it's a good beginning. It's a good start for us. I mean, I don't think it's going to be the only answer to this issue. I think there's plenty of other initiatives and strategies that could be implemented, but at least it's positive to hear that the government's taking the necessary steps forward to address the situation.